Okay, so in the last video we just changed the oil, we changed the fuel filter. We started it up, it started, and in the video I thought Ian had stopped it, but he hadn't. It had run out of diesel. So you do need to bleed the fuel filter after you change it. You need to fill the fuel filter up with fuel by sucking it up from the tank. So let's have a look. What are these 4 connections we've got on here mean? So this, let me get this right. So this arrow, you can see there's a sort of arrow moulded into the top here. Get that wire out of the way. Now that arrow is actually returning to the tank. So this is fuel returning to the tank. And so this is the waste diesel coming from the diesel pump back to the tank. The white connector here is actually coming up from the fuel tank through the filter, and then this connection on this side with the switch is the fuel coming out of the filter up into the tank. So what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect this one here. Let's disconnect that connector again. Oh gosh, here we go. What did I lift? And he's a lift, is he? Yeah, he's a lift and separate. Right. Okay, and then I'm going to just use a screwdriver, push this one. So, yeah, so if you've run out of fuel, the same logic will apply. If you've run out of diesel and you need to bleed the system, this video will do your trick for you. So, right, so there you go. You can see we've got this here. So we've got it, and I will just measure that diameter for you. So just so you know what diameter pipe that is, if I can get him in there, my goodness me. God, how did you get in there?
I'm not sure.
Not sure. He's roughly, because I'm on a bit of an angle, so yeah, so he's about 10mm. Okay, so ideally you want to get one of these. We've actually got an 8mm one here, so this is one of these little hand primer pumps. Comes with an arrow, not normally coloured in. I did that for the video. So we've got an 8mm pipe, and I've just sort of opened that pipe a bit, so he's actually not too bad. I think he's going to be a nice tight fit, because you want an airtight fit on that. So he's actually nice on that. There you go. Right, okay. So as I pump this, we should be sucking the fuel up from the tank. We shouldn't need the bottle. Let's have a... Oh yeah. Now, can you hear that? Stick that camera next to...
If you get fuel out the end of your fuel pump there, it means all this hose is going to be full as well.
Yeah, so
you'll get a bit of a spill.
So how do you reckon we should stop then? Oh,
there we go.
There we go. Did you catch that? So there we go. Look, we got fuel coming out there. I'll tell you, there's a bit of air in it, but yeah, it's probably just air in the pump.
Yeah. Well, you know your filter's going to be mostly full then.
Yeah. Okay, so you're probably better off not trying to start it like we did until you've bled it now. Hold on, let me rest that somewhere, because as Ian points out, it's going to be full of diesel. I'm going to get diesel everywhere.
If you block your,
yeah, hold on.
you might be alright. You should have a one-way valve in that grenade, so it should vacuum and stop too much of it coming out.
Alright, here we go. Oh, there you go. Right, let me just drain that in there.
You might have to go the
There
other
you
way.
go. Right, you'll be alright. Look, there you go. Right, you can live in there for now. Right. Oh, there you go. Break this golden. Right, so now let's reconnect up and let's go and start. So that should just push back on. Okay. Now we've made the position worse for ourselves, because we tried to start it, and all we've done is suck air into the injectors. So so let's see how many turns it takes now to start that. Right, so we've put the key in. It's making some whirry noises, which is probably doing something. Right then, Ian, give it a go. Let's see if we can do this. Right, give it a break a minute. Don't run the start motor too long, because they get hot. Give it a little break. Right, try again. Alright. And again. Okay. We'll give it one more go, and then we'll try bleeding off the connectors, okay? So it's not self-bleeding, or not without doing a lot of trouble. So what we'll do is we'll just crack off one of the bolts on the injectors here. Okay, I've just loosened this, one of these injector bolts here. I've actually loosened the nut on both ends so that I could move it out the way and see. And let's crank it over and see if we've got any diesel coming through. Oh, there we go, yeah, we're getting a bit through now. Alright, so let's try putting that one back on. There's a little bit, not a lot. Now again, I don't know whether you need to bleed it, or it's a question of how long you're prepared to crank your starter motor over for, I guess. Alright, try that. We've got one connector going now, maybe. Okay, well, right. Let's try bleeding another one. See if we get any. Let's see what we've got going into that. Go on then. Alright, that's going. Okay, we've got some going in that one. I was going to say, let's charge the battery and come back after lunch. Okay, we've charged the battery up. We're back from lunch. Right, let's have a... We're going to go crank off this injector here. We're just going to bleed that one through. Go on then, Ian. Oh, yeah, he's got some coming through now. Right. Alright, tighten that back up. Right, try that again now. Right, well. Yeah, I've just got to tighten that nut up. Okay, so let's have a go now. So we've tightened up all the nuts and he should be sweet now. So you can actually see on these pipes here, they're transparent. If you move this film up, you can see if there's any air in it. So you can see we've still got a bit of air in there, but it's still running. That should clear. Yeah, that's clearing a bit. Yeah, there we go. You can see now all the bubbles are gone there now. So there we go. That's how to bleed Freelander 2.